Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just wanted to make a quick video on the age of Aisha at the time of her marriage to Rasulullah, to the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace be upon him. Because there's some debate. I've been doing some research on this myself, whether or not she was 6 and then he consummated at 9. But I've actually been doing some research, and there's actually scholars that are saying that that hadith where Aisha says that she was 6 when the Prophet engaged her, and then she was 9 when they consummated the marriage. That hadith is considered unauthentic, not authentic. It was by a man who was, when he narrated that hadith, he was about 70 or 80 years old, and at that time he was known to have very horrible memory, very horrible memory. That's just what I've read here, but let me see here. Anyways, I'm just gonna do this really quick. The proofs of Aisha, of her approximate age. It wasn't 6, and it sure as heck wasn't 9 when they got engaged. Alright. I'll just read directly from the website here. It appears that Maulana Muhammad Ali was the first Islamic scholar directly to challenge the notion that Aisha was aged 6 and 9, respectively, at the time of her nikah and consummation of the marriage. This he did in at least the following writings, and it gives a list of books that he's written. But this is what he has written in one of the books. A great misconception prevails as to the age at which Aisha was taken in marriage by the Prophet. Ibn Sa'id has stated in the Tabakat that when Abu Bakr, who is the father of Aisha, was approached on behalf of the Holy Prophet, he replied that the girl had already been betrothed to Jubair. Now, let's get our little gears going inside of our head, okay? If she was already engaged, she must have been coming close to maturity, or she had already reached maturity. Hence, her period. For you uneducated people out there, her period. She must have gotten her period if she was ready to be engaged or be married. Alright. So, in order for her to be married to the Prophet, they had to break off the past engagement so they could, so the Prophet could marry her. Alright, speaking of the Prophet's daughter, Fatima says that she was born 5 years before the call, by the call meaning 5 years before the Prophet had received his first revelation from God, before he became a prophet. And she was also 5 years older than Aisha. This shows that Aisha must have been about 10 years old at the time of her betrothal to the Prophet, and not 6 years as she is generally supposed to be. This is further borne out by the fact that Aisha herself is reported to have stated that when the chapter of the Holy Quran entitled "The Moon," the 54th chapter, was revealed, she was a girl playing about and remembered certain verses then revealed. Now, the 54th chapter was undoubtedly revealed before the 6th year of the call. So, it was revealed between the 5th and 6th year, somewhere in that time period. All of these considerations point to but one conclusion, that Aisha could have not been less than 10 years of age at the time of her nikah, which is the betrothal or the engagement. Again, it is a fact admitted on all hands that the nikah of Aisha took place in the 10th year of the call in the month of Shawwal. So it was the 10th year of the Prophet's prophethood, since he received revelation from God. While there are also while there is also an abundance of evidence as to the consummation of her marriage taking place in the 2nd year of Hijrah, in the same month, which shows that full 5 years have elapsed between the nikah and the consummation. Hence, there is not the least doubt that Aisha was at least 9 or 10 years of age at the time of betrothal, which means the engagement, not the consummation, and 14 or 15 years of age at the time of the actual marriage or of the consummation. Okay. To facilitate understanding the dates of these events, please note that it was in the 10th year of the call, the 10th year after the Holy Prophet received revelation, that his wife Khadijah passed away. And the approach was made by Abu Bakr to give his daughter to the Prophet, his daughter Aisha. The Hijrah, or the immigration of the Holy Prophet to Medina, took place 3 years later. And Aisha came to the household of the Prophet in the 2nd year after Hijrah. So 3 plus 2, 5. So Aisha was born in the year of the call. So she was born the same year that the Prophet received his first revelation from God. She is about 10 years old at the time of Nikah and 15 years of age at the time of consummation. There's also more research by another scholar who said she was close to 18 years old when the marriage was consummated. Now, it's a lengthy part of the article here. I won't go through reading that because I'm only allowed a certain amount of time here on YouTube. But I consider this to be authentic. They have proven their point, saying that the hadith where Aisha says that she was 6 and 9 is not authentic. Alright, so another thing this article says is that when the scholars were compiling these hadiths, they didn't really look into the authenticity of historical events that took place, like the marriage of the age of Aisha when she was married to the Prophet. When instead they were more trying to get the authenticity of the hadiths that had more to do with the rulings in Islam, the rules in Islam, stuff talking about God, talking about the Prophet and the rules that he had come to set and that were in play, stuff like that. Pretty much stuff dealing with Sharia. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I pretty much summarized this article as best as I could. I will go ahead and I will post the link of this article in the video description below. And if you don't like my video, good for you. You can go burn. I don't care. You can insult my prophet all you want. You better read your own book before you do that, because the Bible ain't such a real peaceful book after all, now is it? Anyways, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.